Yeah, so what's going on, guys? We're doing a live stream tonight. I've been very skeptical on doing these because of the issues I've been having with my computer, but I think we're all right now. So, surprise, it's Friday night.
Surprise.
What's going on, everybody?
Hello,
Surprise.
guys.
Sun's still out over here in Los Angeles.
What's up, Crypto Cheeser? How's it going, buddy? So, for everybody on my side, this is Captain Crypto. He runs the Cryptonauts channel. I love their style. It's really cool. You guys, so much more professional than my channel, the way that you guys film and edit. You guys got like drones flying around. And I don't know that, but it's pretty cool. So I wanted to sort of bring you on the channel, you know, along with Candor, and maybe discuss recently. So you actually went to Singapore, right, Nathan?
Yeah, I went to Singapore. It was a trip. So all right, so you want the story of the scoop of how I ended up in Singapore?
Yeah, man, I think it's insane.
Shoot.
Like yeah, go ahead.
It was off an Instagram post.
Really?
Really?
So I put this question that says, should I go visit Altcoin Buzz? 95% said yes. And then like maybe 3 hours later, Block Cloud bought my ticket.
Well, that's pretty cool.
They were leaving on the 20th, so I did the AMA with Shu over there. So I was like, just give me a one-way. I'll figure it out, you know. And then the next thing is, here's the ticket, right? And then I'm on the plane. Like, so 16 hours later, I'm on the plane, 17-hour flight. I'm like dead.
That's a long flight.
And I landed and I met Altcoin Buzz.
What do you do for 17 hours on a plane?
Dude, I literally just talked to these two ladies like next to me. They're like from Houston, from the same where I was born. I was born in Houston and raised in like Little Rock, Arkansas. So, you know, we're just talking.
Very cool.
Like, yeah. So Singapore turned out to be the #1 blockchain city in the world.
Really?
So what was it like? What was it like at the Altcoin Buzz headquarters? Like is it busy? A lot of stuff going on, or what? I mean, I'd like to make it out there sometime.
So you got to go check it out. He's like busy all the time, like meeting after meeting. Like every time, like that we did that other token tank. I ran down there to go get him. I burst through his meeting. Like, are you gonna do this? He's like, what? No. And I was just like, all right, you know, gotta call Brad. And so he's just like, he's busy. He's got a lot of people putting out content. I remember like he said during the bull run, they're putting out 9 videos a day.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
But he's got Altcoin Buzz. There's like, well, what is there, like 38 people that work for them?
That's
Something like that?
insane.
36 people.
Yeah, 36 people working for Altcoin Buzz. So listen, man, if I had 36 people, I'm sure I could put out more than 2 videos a day. I mean, it's a lot. It's like 7 hours worth of work for 2 videos. So it definitely is a lot. So, okay, cool. We finally got some people rolling into the chat. We just had some kind of pointless banter in the beginning. So what's going on, everybody? How are you guys doing? It's Friday. It's the weekend. Hopefully everyone's enjoying themselves. But if not, hey, you know, here we are on the live stream. So I kind of wanted to talk about, I briefly brushed upon it in my news today, but I didn't really dive super deep into it. So I wanted to sort of talk about the big news today, what's been happening with the, you know, ICE, the New York Stock Exchange, how they're going to be dealing with basically, well, you can actually compare it almost to like the Lightning Network, where they're looking to have like a second layer solution for Bitcoin and things of that nature, where, you know, even when they have their futures, they're going to have them settled within 24 hours. So that's really different than what we've seen from the other Bitcoin futures. So if you look back in time when that futures, those contracts started, that was literally at the peak. That was the peak at the highest point, and that's when everything started to fall. But the difference is people are a lot more bullish on this because now these people are going to be dealing with actual Bitcoin instead of just cash settled.
Yeah.
You know, back and forth. I'm just saying, oh, it's going to go this high, it's going to go this, you know, and then whoever's right gets cash. But in this case, we're talking about Bitcoin. So they're going to be utilizing Microsoft. You have Starbucks on board. I mean, I don't know if any of you guys looked into this. It's really probably some of the best news we've heard in crypto in quite some time.
Well, there's this app that I use for news. I'm going to try to pull it up quick so I can shout out the name of it. It's called CoinFeed, and it pulls. It's kind of like an aggregator. It pulls a lot of different sources. And one of the first things I saw when I opened up the feed was you're going to be able to probably buy your latte at Starbucks with Bitcoin. And then I kind of was reading about that and how they might be adding the capability to do that. And then I was reading about the new futures and the ICE contracts and stuff. And it's pretty amazing how it feels like overnight, all of a sudden, there's all this talk. Because, you know, as we were just talking about before the stream started, the platform that they're going to be using for ICE is called Backed, which I still think is a bizarre name, but they're going to be leveraging Microsoft's cloud services, basically. So we go from, you know, there being a bear market to Microsoft, Starbucks, you know, New York Stock Exchange, Bitcoin, futures, like out of nowhere. And it's funny because if you look on any crypto website, any news site right now, that's like all the articles are about that.
Yeah, and I just want to stress to everybody watching right now, you know, like I said, I didn't put enough emphasis on it this morning, but they're actually building this thing called the Omnibus, which is going to sit on top of the Bitcoin blockchain. This is huge. So it's almost like they might actually do this technically before the Lightning Network. Now, guys, we're going to admit it has many centralized components to it. I mean, clearly. But just think about that, though. I mean, you know, you want it to be adoption, but it's not going to go instantly centralized to instantly decentralized. There's going to be that middle ground. You know what I'm saying? So I think this is huge news. I can't stress it enough. I'm going to keep an eye on it. Definitely, I'm going to see what keeps rolling out. Maybe tomorrow I'll go into a little bit more detail in my news videos. But
what's the Omnibus? So what is it, like, in a nutshell? Like, if I was like 12 years old, how would you describe it?
Oh, it's just a fancy term. That's all it is. It's just like a second layer. Like, imagine anything that sits on top of a blockchain, like Seller Network or Trinity or Raiden. You know, it's a second layer solution. But the only thing is, these guys are developing it, so it's not like a crypto. It's not like a tradable token. I mean, it's like a centralized, like, you know, protocol layer. So
Ripple layer on top of a.
Yeah, it's crazy, bro. It's really interesting. So, I mean, as far as the markets go, did you guys see that today? CoinMarketCap had a glitch.
They think it has to do with Tether because the price went up to like $1.08. Somebody tweeted me out of nowhere. It was just like, "Oh my God, look at CoinMarketCap!" And I was busy at work, so I couldn't. And then I saw it all over Reddit. Everybody was panicking. Like, coins were up like 800%. Like, what a time to be alive. That would have been nice.
Yeah, well, I don't know what was worse, seeing that or then having to watch it, you know, plummet all the way back down.
Yeah.
So that was crazy. Absolutely. So we actually recently just recorded our ontology token tank, in case everybody out there was wondering, but we're probably not going to put it out until Monday. There was a lot of technical issues, unfortunately, with June Lee's. Well, apparently the guy has 10G.
Yeah, he had 10G. Not 4G, not 5G. He had 10G.
He had 10G. But yeah, so it was a lot of issues, and there's a lot of editing that had to get done, which is one of the reasons why a lot of people are like, why don't you do these token tanks live? Because of stuff like that. Yeah. When you have 5 different,
internet providers and sources, and that's a lot.
Exactly. So that's what kind of sucks about that.
Yeah, somebody was asking me. I will, for the record, be on a token tank at some point. What happened was I was on vacation for 2 weeks. They started doing it. And then I've been trying to catch up with other content and stuff that I need to get out of the way first. But I will be joining these fine individuals on one. And I look forward to it because I think it's going to be fun. They look like a lot of fun.
Yeah, the whole idea is really, I mean, it was crazy. We just kind of came up with the idea one day. It was, we were just talking. It was like Brad and Lark and everybody. And, we were just like, why don't we just do an interview type, Shark Tank show? But we rotate the hosts and we don't tell the projects the questions beforehand. And we just keep it totally community. Like, we don't vote. We don't pick winners. We just literally ask the questions and then that's it. And I don't think anyone's really done that. So.
No, and it's cool to keep it fresh because sometimes that's part of the reason why we do these live streams with different people is because we like to, it can be monotonous for people who are viewing and also for creators to be doing the same stuff all the time. So it's nice to like do something different.
Yeah.
So I just found this really, I don't know if this necessarily would be a big news for you, Kyle, because you don't have like a web store, but apparently Coinbase is launching a crypto plugin for the WooCommerce, which is like basically a website that you can sync with your existing website that allows you to bring in merchandise and other things to sell. So like I use Shopify, which is very similar to WooCommerce. And so I guess Coinbase is going to be providing a payment system for upwards of, they're saying 28% of all those web stores, which is pretty amazing. And so the plugin, I guess, is available on GitHub now. What's crazy is I hadn't heard about this until I started Googling. But that's pretty awesome because I right now have the Request Network plugin on Shopify, so you can use requests if you want to pay me. No one's done it because I think it's a little confusing, but it's pretty neat that Coinbase is going to be doing that.
It's happening quick.
Yeah,
People they're incorporating it pretty quick.
Yeah, the cool thing about it is they're using a WordPress plugin, so it's just like a plug and play. It's just one button. So you literally just add the button to your website, and they do all the work for you. So that's the thing is people are lazy, like you said. Request network's confusing, so people aren't using it.
Yeah.
WordPress is simple. It's just a boom button, so people are using it.
Yeah, that's always the way. That's always the way it works, right? People are lazy.
Definitely. So, aside from all those other predictions, you have UBS saying that if Bitcoin reaches $213,000, apparently it can officially be able to like replace the U.S. dollar or something like that. So now we just got to get past 10 grand. I'll be happy.
2040. Year 2040.
That's crazy. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be a day that's going to happen, but even still, that's pretty nuts. Crypto
God says Ethereum Classic is a scam. I don't know. It's not a scam. It's just it's kind of one of those projects that its sole purpose of existing was just to make sure people didn't lose their money back when the DAO got hacked. And beyond that, most people tend to just work on Ethereum. I don't see a lot of Ethereum Classic developers. I don't really see much coming out of the community. Now I know there's hardcore ETC people that are going to hate on me, but I mean, come on. I mean, it's been like a year. Oh, you're an Ethereum Classic guy, or?
Well, he loves Hoskinson, so
I like Hoskinson. I'm a Hoskinson fan, so I didn't know that he's an ETC guy. So then obviously I jumped on the bus, and I realized why he created Cardano.
Yeah, it's one of the projects that's managed by IOHK.
Yeah, and because of the hack, he's going to make sure that Cardano does not get hacked.
Yeah,
that's why it's so great.
I mean, it was just a big philosophical split. It was a philosophical fork, basically, is why it happened. But I think that, I mean, there's kind of a place for everything. I don't know long term if Ethereum Classic's really. I wouldn't say it's a ripoff, and it's not a scam because it's definitely doing what it's saying it's going to do. But I don't know usability and functionality. How long term a project like that will be around.
I mean, I don't want to. You go ahead, bro.
It's gonna hit Coinbase, and so remember what happened to Coinbase? It went. So I'm gonna sell it right back to Ethereum.
Buy the rumor, sell the news on Ethereum Classic. I think with Ethereum Classic, I think it could potentially act the same way as Litecoin did for so many years for Bitcoin, where it's more of like if they wanted to, they're probably not going to take it in that route. They probably want to like maintain their own dignity and their own concepts, but if they did use it as a test net for Ethereum, it would be good. You could try things on Ethereum Classic before, putting them on Ethereum, kind of like what Litecoin was for a while. So, it's an option. It's a possibility. But
stuff is running on a different EVM though, isn't it? It's like it's
Ethereum Classic.
Yeah, I think it's like you can't switch to proof of stake.
Oh, dude, I don't know that. I don't really know much about Ethereum Classic. It's just never really interested me, unfortunately. But you know what? I don't want to steal your thunder. I know you've been actually doing a lot of Cardano research lately. You were telling me about it. Like, what's going on, man? What is the good news?
Cardano it's legit. It's just like I think it's my main squeeze.
Yeah, well, you and me both. I'm excited because I love the update to the roadmap. I actually just recently did an updated video on them, like a kind of follow-up. And I love the new roadmap because it shows like the progressive change by percents. So it's nice that you can kind of follow along and they're constantly updating it. I'm trying to pull up my write-up to see what I put down for it because I know there was some stuff I wanted to grab.
Did you see what they audited themselves? They have an audit report out.
I don't think I saw that.
It's pretty dope if you want to pull that up. So they got a company to come in and audit it, and they found all the bugs and stuff, and then IOHK had to respond to each problem to make sure that.
Let's see this.
I got to do more research on Cardano. I feel like I haven't really done justice to my channel really, because for the longest time Cardano was really just like a wallet. Like it really was. And I didn't have any, I don't have an issue with Charles at all. I think he's a really intelligent dude. I think Cardano, they're like the academics, I mean, everything's got to kind of go through a voting process. Everything's got to, which is good because that means when they do release their products, they're going to be good. They're not going to have loopholes. They're not going to have, bugs and this other stuff, but it takes a long time. But then again, when you really think about it, when you compare things in crypto, everybody wants things so fast. But when you look at even something, for example, like the internet, you know, when it was developed, you know, with DARPA in the military, and, you know, that was coming out in the 60s. And then, you know, look how long that took to evolve to what we have today. It took decades. So, you know, oh, Cardano, you know, all that, you know what I mean? Oh, it's been a year.
Oh, this is cool,
Right?
Nathan.
That's
So
awesome.
there's a big audit report. They do a table of contents explaining by flags, by code, by quality, documentation. And then in the summary, it'll show that like it links IOHK's direct response to the code and states whether it's so low priority, acknowledged, in progress. That's awesome. We'll review later.
They're doing it right.
And that's why I love Cardano, because yeah, they're academics and it may take forever, but when it gets done, it's going to be perfect.
Yeah, and also, you know, the code they're using is Haskell, and Haskell is input and output. So it's a shorter code, so it won't get hacked. And also, just the whole system, the whole names. Like Cardano was the first person who, in history, in the 1600s, who came up with
Cardano.
Yeah, and then Daedalus was Icarus's father, who built him the wings and said, "Don't fly too high, so it'll keep you safe." Yeah.
Well, I know that Ada was like one of the first polymaths, which is what I like. So that's why the coin is named Ada, after Ada Lovelace.
Yeah, that's the confusing thing. They're naming it. Every single thing they come out with has a different name. It's named after somebody. IoTeX is doing the same thing. They're naming all of their test nets and stuff after, I think, cryptographers and stuff like that. They did Stonevan was the first one, and then they just did another one too, which I don't really remember right now, but.
And the thing about peer review, it's, you know, for me, I never really went to college, but I do see, me and my dad used to get into arguments because my dad has a PhD in computer engineering.
Oh, wow.
And I don't know anything, you know, but he would always tell me to double check my work, and I would never double check my work. But like, that's what peer review is. It's just like you give it to another set of eyes, another PhD, and they just make sure that there's no mistakes.
Well, yeah, because the thing is like, you got to think about these guys. I'm not a coder, I'm not a developer, but I can only imagine if I'm just sitting in front of a screen all day long and I'm just looking at all these different characters and letters and numbers, eventually, like, you got to kind of like, you got to bug out after a while, you know, and, you know, show it to somebody else, let them look at it. I mean, that happens with me with my videos. I'll be editing. I was just going
to say that.
Yeah, and then I'll put my video out. Like today, for example, I put my video out, and like I watched it, and I misspelled a word in the beginning, and I'm like, gee, I know some troll is going to be like, that's not how you spell it, you know?
Yeah. That happens to me too. Sometimes, like, if I have a video that ends up being like over 10 minutes, as much as I may want to put it out the night that I make it, sometimes I'll just wait till the next day, go to work, come home, and start editing again and go over it, because like I'll make little tiny errors, clearly just out of the fact that I've been editing for too long and my eyes hurt. So obviously, like, I'm not a coder, and me comparing my video editing to like writing code is clearly not like a perfect example, but I'm the same way. You know, I never second checked or would go over my work a second time, and that would be the reason why I always had errors. So peer review is where it's at.
Yep. As much as you don't want to do it, but in Singapore, there's something called TIM blockchain. It's legit. Like,
yeah, I've heard about that. It's like talking IM or something, or what is it about? What exactly is it? Because I've heard of that.
Money, and it's this guy named Prabhat. So I met him, and he taught me. He gave me crypto 101. I just sat there. I tried to learn everything. He's so smart. He just sits there and just codes. And they're doing geo splitting DAG. So like, you know, you need a start card, you need a key to like a Lamborghini or like a Altima. You need the key in the car to push start.
Yeah.
So you need to be in that location to do the transaction. It's geo splitting.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's a super block method. So like, you have the DAGs on the bottom, right? The DAGs collecting this transaction super fast that shoot like a well in a coin. And then the bags of coins get collected into the super block every 5 seconds. And so it's like
There's
it's a legit
full-blown panicking in my chat right now, screaming that Tim is a scam, apparently.
I mean, dude, Andre from Crypto Briefing can't even go through the code right now. So if you want to go through the code, bro, see if you can read it.
What, as in it's too complicated for him, or?
Yeah. So you look through the code. It's there. It's in the GitHub. So Tim Blockchain, look it up.
Yeah.
Like, you're a coder, look it up. Look up the GitHub and look over the code, and you tell me. Because I know the code is real. I saw it. So.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the thing is, like, unfortunately, you know, as far as developers, they're far and few between when it comes to finding people that can do code and actually validate stuff. So it's really difficult, especially from my perspective, when people ask me to do reviews on projects. The thing is I can only review it from my standpoint of reading a paper and what conversations I've had with the team. You know what I mean? But for all you know, that white paper could be pure crap, right? It could just be a bunch of pointless mathematical equations that mean absolutely nothing. And I think that code is king in a sense. And I think moving forward, especially with a lot of these projects and people being really pissed off with ICOs, I think the code is going to become much more important than anything else. Like, you know, like you kind of had that old school way of looking at a project where you look at the team, you look at their past experiences, you dive deep into the white paper and the tech. I think now people are just going to straight up start looking at code. You know what I mean? Because there's like 100 different projects with the same white paper.
Well, that's like Tron. The running joke was they just copy and pasted everything, and every issue that they've had in every hack is that the guy doesn't really go in and resolve the issue for the code. He's just trying to take more code from somewhere else. So, I mean, if you're looking at the skeleton, if you're looking at the bones of a project where the code is, where it's operating, if you can read it and you can understand it, you have a leg up over everybody else. I'm envious of those that can do it. I don't know anything about it. It's like a second language.
I don't even know how code works. Yeah. Like I look at it and I just like really from an actual perspective, how do you turn a bunch of symbols into like a full-fledged application? Like it's just so mind-blowing to me, man.
Binary based zeros and ones, you know, the matrix code. That's like machine code is at the bottom. So it's in as well. And then yeah, I mean it's legit. I think I always say this because, you know, the Bitcoin protocol was one of the very few projects. I think it might be the only one that the code was written first and the white paper came second.
Yeah, that's actually true. They had a working product, 100% working, before they even wrote about it. Yeah, that's a good call, dude. On a side note, I was checking out the ICE, and they actually do have it says multi-asset, multi-venue data with 25 cryptocurrency trading venues. They have Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Dash, EOS, Ethereum, Ethereum Classic, Litecoin, Monero, Neo, Omizigo, Qtum, Ripple, Stellar, Tether, and Zcash. So I don't know if that means that that's all going to be on this thing that they're doing with Backed, but I know Bitcoin will, but these might be the potential ones to get added. So that's just something to keep in mind, but I don't know. I mean, I'm just looking at the website. It doesn't guarantee anything. But they're definitely going to be working with Bitcoin, so okay. I think that's the most important thing because Bitcoin is, you know, that's the one that everybody knows anyway. So
yeah. Oh, so can I do this giveaway quick before I forget?
Yeah, sure.
All right. So
I'll give you the.
So somebody wanted me to bring up Library. Anyways, I just got a message in the chat. There's this platform that's like a little decentralized YouTube, basically, and it operates on your computer and not on a website. But they are building that in the process. They're in the process of doing that. It's a project I've been kind of on and putting my content on for like 8 months now. I love it. The team's great. I did a review of them not too long ago, and they gave me some LBC, which is their token, to give away, and also 2 t-shirts. So I did a raffle, and people have signed up for it. So I'm going to do the giveaway so that we can see who wins, because I did it like 2 weeks ago and I forgot. So the problem is it says 4 prizes left. So here's the deal. I thought they were sending me 3 shirts. They did send me 3 shirts, but one of them was for me to wear in the video. So the first 2 prizes, the first 2 raffles are going to be 2 extra large shirts. And then the third raffle is going to be the LBC tokens instead of the t-shirt. So I'm just going to do the first 3. And the only rule is you guys got to contact me within 24 hours, you know, telling me that you want your stuff, giving me a shipping address or an LBC wallet. If you don't, I will redraw winners. So yeah, so let's do this. Let's see. This is the first time I've used this. Winners to draw 1.
California tokens, let's do it.
Let's see.
LBC.
I got to start doing more fun giveaways on my channel. I feel like I haven't done anything since I hit a...
All right, so...
I was getting a bunch of Neo away back in the day.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool. It breaks it up, and it's fun if people are going to just give you stuff to give away. So Eco, I don't want to butcher this person's last name, but you won a extra large shirts, so message me if you want it. Draw winners. Let's see. Winners to draw 1.
How many? You got to do 3 of these?
Yeah, so this is the second one. And we got 1 more.
How about them Big Mac coins?
Get a drum roll going.
Toby Stewart joined the CryptoCandor Discord. I guess that's what he did. you get a t-shirt. So message me your stuff, and the last person is going to get some LBC tokens. So let's I think it's 50 LBC tokens. I got to look back. And John Dorval, yeah, you get LBC. So hit me up, and I'm going to screenshot this just so I know for sure that I have it saved.
Hey, cool, Alex, Craig on my channel says, quit giving away crypto and buy something with it. That would actually do something for the space.
Hey, man, I do buy it. I'm giving away free stuff. I'm trying to be nice. But, yeah, no.
Actually, I'll tell you guys what. I don't have any crazy milestone as far as subscribers, but I'm really, really, really close to hitting 2 million views on my channel.
There you go.
Like 2 million video views. So I'll tell you guys what. Anybody that's watching right now, okay? When I hit 2 million, I will do a live stream, and I'll do a, I don't know, man. What do you guys want? You guys want some Neo? You guys want some, what do you guys want? You guys, Bitcoin will take way too long to send. I can send some Ether, something like that. It don't really matter. You guys are going to sell it for whatever you want anyway.
Yeah.
I like giving away Neo because it's cool, because it's like one whole Neo, and it just, whatever the price is. Like sometimes it's $30, sometimes it's 45. I just like giving away one Neo.
You know the update, though, they're making it divisible, right?
Oh, what?
Okay. But did you hear about the black hole addresses?
No.
That Dahong Fei was talking about? So basically what will happen is, you know how there's like Bitcoin addresses that are lost forever, no one will ever access them, right? Well, Bitcoin doesn't receive dividends, but gas is distributed on the network to Neo holders. And also when you execute smart contracts, that gas that's used to execute the contract is what's distributed back to the holders. So the thing is if all of these holders have the Neo and they lose their private keys, they're still going to get distributed the gas. So they're saying that there's like black hole wallets that'll eventually over time end up sucking up massive quantities of gas and could deplete the entire ecosystem. It's pretty crazy, bro. I did a whole thing on it.
I'm gonna have to read. I saw the video title for that. I'm like, that looks enticing. I need to watch that. And then I got sidetracked or something. That's crazy. That's a really valid point, though. I never thought of that.
And it's not FUD either. That's directly from Dahong Fei. Like, directly from him. He's concerned about it. So
that's crazy.
Well, I saw Neo yesterday during the bear market to put into Ontology, Zilliqa, and Cardano, of course. Everything's cheap. It's on sale.
Yeah, I just actually bought a bunch of ADA or ADA, whatever, last week. I had a buy order in, and then we had like that 2 weeks where everything went up again. And I'm like, all right, I'm just going to leave this here. I'm not touching it because it's going to come back down. And it came back down and hit my buy order. So I'm pretty proud of my self-control.
Yeah. Alex, ever since you switched your camera, there's a little bit of a lag on your on my end. But I mean, it's not a big deal.
Well, I guess I'll know how it interacts once we stop streaming and I rewatch it.
Yeah, it's fine.
Oh, yeah, and shout out to whoever bought me this webcam off my Amazon wishlist. If you're watching or you see this video, you rule. My camera quality is friggin' amazing, and I love you. So, thanks.
What are you shooting it on? Are you shooting on 24 frames?
No, it's literally a webcam that attaches to my iMac that's a 4K wide-angle, like, streaming webcam because the iMac camera stinks. And so I was doing research. I'm like, all right, I'll try buying this. But it was like $200. I'm like, I couldn't really rationalize it because all my cameras work. It just wasn't great quality. And then it came in the mail because I have an Amazon wish list. So somebody just bought it for me, which is amazing.
Oh, so anyone can see your Amazon wish list?
Mm-hmm. The address and stuff is private, but I can like add, like, I have like crypto t-shirts and stuff on there. But that's pretty much it. But yeah, people can just buy it and it'll just ship it to me automatically, which is pretty cool. Amazon's amazing.
Amazon. So, yeah, how do you guys feel about the space since January to now? Do you think it's like now it's just like the hardcore, the original holders and all the?
I think a lot of the people that came in definitely that got wrecked and burned, they're out because I could tell by my YouTube. I mean, even the people on the channel right now, you know what I'm saying? It's definitely different. You know, the views don't come in as fast and, you know, and then there's a lot of negative sentiment as well. But the thing that I think is happening right now is it's one of those situations where it sucks when you have to be the one going through it. Like, but when we look back on it, I think that what's happening right now is really necessary. Yeah. I think we need to put ourselves in check. We need to be a little more realistic, okay? Not every single thing is going to change the world. Like, it's not like, oh, like this blockchain, now all of a sudden the kids have food. Like, no, you still need real people to do. Like, here's an example that I give. Okay, so you hear about oracles and smart contracts, right? So smart contracts are awesome. Think about all the things you can eliminate, right? You don't need to have a broker. You don't need to have a lawyer, right? You can get rid of all these third parties. But at the same time, smart contracts also like don't think for themselves, right? They have code, they have directions, and they follow them. That's it. So what's the problem? Now we have to create these oracles. So now you have, you know, the oracle services coming in, right? We've seen that even with, you know, Chainlink, they're pushing that to the forefront. Okay, great. So now we have oracles. But what's the problem with the oracles? Well, where are they getting their information from? So say, for example, I have something like Augur, like a prediction market, right? And say tomorrow, if it rains, execute this smart contract, shut them all down, close them all. It's raining, right? So we don't have to have people show up. But what about if you have a bad actor that's, you know, feeding them the wrong information and saying, oh, it was really sunny today, right? Smart contract says, Google, it's sunny. Let's open them all up, right? Nobody goes in there, no business. You know what I'm saying? Like, so we still have to deal with people, human interaction. Like, I know that I've talked to a lot of developers in the space, like even Roland Chai from IoTex. He was talking about how in the future it's all going to be robots running everything. I don't think so. I think we'll never lose the human element. Like, there are things about people like irrationality, right? Acting nonsensical. That's the human spirit. And I think that will never be replaced by a machine, by an algorithm, by a ledger. You know what I mean? So
having opinions, you know.
I don't even think I like even remotely. Oh, my hair is looking not too good, guys. A little crazy. But I don't even think I remotely touched on the question.
Wait, what?
You just put on a little metal tinfoil hat and took off.
I know, and I started talking about something totally different. Okay, about the actual market themselves.
Oh, right.
What do you think? I'm talking too much. You guys have a perspective on it.
The market?
Or just anything in general, crypto. How do you feel?
I think it's starting to. Before it was just like the Wild West. You can't make 37x anymore. You know, a lot of stuff is going to private sales. So a lot of ICOs are doing more private sales than they are public. A lot more lockups. And then, yeah, I mean,
I think it's
I didn't know what I was
necessary.
doing. Yeah.
I didn't know what I was doing either. I mean,
you know, when I was like, oh, I'm making so much money. Yeah, I'm gonna buy this, and now I gotta sell it to pay rent. You know, so it's just like,
yeah. I used to get pissed about that ICO stuff. Now it's like whatever. I get why they're doing it. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. You know, it's they don't want to deal with the U.S. The U.S. is being crazy. Also, they were getting a lot of flack for these ridiculously high valuations. You know, I mean, you had ICOs raising hundreds of millions of dollars for what?
Yeah,
for a piece of paper.
Yeah, white paper promise.
Yeah, dude. You know, Shosh, Altcoin Buzz. He said the best tech that came out of Tron was Justin Sun.
You see that? You see that thing where they were saying that Justin Sun might actually be Satoshi Nakamoto, and I'm like, dude, you know how old he is right now? If he was Satoshi, he would have been 15 years old when he made Bitcoin.
Yeah,
like,
he would have been a genius, apparently.
Who do you guys think Satoshi is?
Not saying that he didn't, but you know.
Yeah.
Who do you guys think Satoshi?
My theory is, and it is that it was more than one person. That's always been my theory. I mean, I read the book that told me all the history about how it started, you know, who started it, the whole original, the IRC chat and all that stuff. But I don't remember any of the names that originally were in the book, so I can't specifically quote people. But the theory at the end of it was that they believe that it was probably a couple people working together. I don't know.
Yeah, Zombie, who do you think?
It probably was a few people working together. A lot of people think it was that Nick Szabo guy, Nick Zabos, whatever, but he says obviously it wasn't him.
I think it's dude.
I don't know, because somebody just brought up in the chat before about, they were saying Tron and Cardano were saying that one of the best things about Bitcoin is the fact that the founder's anonymous, and that's what actually makes it so strong. But it's difficult now because it seems like now with like Bitcoin is the only project that actually works with. All the other projects, they want a figurehead. I mean, look at it. Cardano, right? Would Cardano really be as successful if it didn't have Charles? Would Ethereum, not to say successful, but I mean, think about it. Like Ethereum, you think Vitalik, right? Neo, you think DeHong Fei, Ontology, Jun Lee, Elastos, Rong Chen. Like they have figureheads now, Charlie Lee, Litecoin. So it would be difficult for there to be another anonymous crypto. The closest crypto that I could think of sort of would be like Komodo, because they have an anonymous founder, but the team still speaks with him. Like, he'll talk to them via chat and stuff, but he won't release who he is to the public.
Actually, it's funny because I think, if I'm remembering correctly, and if there's anybody in the chat, if I'm wrong, feel free to let me know. But I recall when I did my research on Decred, that Decred has actually been around for a very long time. And it started anonymously. They don't, as far as I know, they don't know who created the project. It was in like the Bitcoin Talk forum, and people were helping to work on it, and then it just kind of took on a life of its own, and I don't think the original creator is still associated with the project.
Interesting.
Yes.
Yeah, someone's talking about, Jim is talking about the down altcoin cycle. I don't know how long everyone on the channel's been in Bitcoin. I've only personally been invested in Bitcoin for about 1.5 years. I've known about it for longer, but I was hesitant to invest because, you know, it's scary. But the thing is I've noticed that we do follow these cycles, and I'm not just saying this to just repeat what other people say. It's true. I've seen it. This is probably my 5th time now of, you know, Bitcoin season, altcoin season, Bitcoin season, altcoin season. And right now, I personally don't think that the altcoins are going to rally until Bitcoin makes a significant move or something happens to Bitcoin first. That's just my personal opinion. I would love to be wrong because I know a lot of people have altcoin bags, but I really, truly think that right now we're all looking at Bitcoin. I think it's just we need Bitcoin to move. We need it to get adopted. You know, we need this thing coming out from ICE, from the NYSE. Yeah, we need a catalyst. And then after we do that, once it blasts off, then yeah, people are going to have their profits, and then the altcoins are going to get redistributed. That's what always happens.
I agree with you. I think that, you know, we took off in January, everything was so high, and now the market's just completely plummeted. And you know, as Nathan was saying, he's like, do you think it's just the original holders? And yeah, I think we're on this precipice right now that in order to validate cryptocurrencies to the people that were in originally in January that might be sour, and to new people, we have to move further past, like, our last good thing was an all-time high. Okay, well, that's great. But we need to move past to like another checkpoint. There has to be something else new that brings crypto into the daily news stream for people that is big enough to get them to come back and take a look or get more people in. Do you know what I mean? Like, we need something new. And I think the futures and this whole Starbucks thing and everything else is definitely going to at least get people interested in looking. And that's the way it starts. So, and then if all that stuff ends up coming to fruition and being created, even better for all of us.
You guys know how Tenstorm works? Zombie, I know you did a live with them, right?
Yeah. Did you spoke with them as well, right, man?
Yeah. So they drew it out for me, and it's like, you know how WeChat works, right? You just scan it and you can go into wherever. So that's kind of what it is. So you just scan it. So they're looking to onboard the next 100 million users. So my mom can use it. My grandma can use it. My aunt can use it. You just scan it and you use it.
Yeah, no, I did an interview. Yeah, I did an interview with them. It was pretty cool. That's their whole thing. The whole thing is it's still too complicated. It just is, man. I mean, you know, like, just because we know how to, most people don't care. It has to be easier. But when you were talking about the Bitcoin adoption and what's going to really make the markets move, you have to have use cases. I forget who it was in the chat earlier that said, jokingly, stop giving away crypto and start spending it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Realistically, that's how you're going to do it. You got to start using it. You have to start using the actual cryptocurrencies. And for the longest time, really all we saw people do was just hodl, right? So you're just basically sitting on stacks of cryptos and you're just watching them. You're not spending them. You're not using them. You're not doing anything. You're just looking at your blockfolio and just like looking at the number like, is it going to go up? Is it going to go down? And that's not how money works, especially currencies. Like, you know what I mean? You have to spend money to live. You have to pay bills.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think when it gets to that point, and that catalyst is not here yet, and until it does, we're not going to see a lot of these alts rally. There's no point. There's no purpose for them. What's the point in a DApp that no one's going to use because no one's even using the infrastructure? Who's using the infrastructure?
And most people aren't even using Bitcoin. How are we going to get people to use a DApp if people still aren't using Bitcoin? Like, let's be realistic.
40 million people that know about, or 40 million people that use Ethereum, I think. That's like 0.1 population of the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tarek J just said, I don't know how people are selling at these prices. I'm with you there, brother. I'm not selling anything at this point.
I've been buying.
No
I've been buying
way.
for the last month.
This is like so actually the bottom. Like, I can't even do TA, but I can look at a graph and tell you that this is not time to sell. I'm not telling anyone to buy anything, but I am saying if there's something you truly think is undervalued, I would personally, not financial advice, but dollar cost average, start it up again. A couple $100 every Friday into maybe a little into Cardano, a little into Bitcoin, a little bit into whatever it is that you think is the one that But personally, I would keep. Some people say like 50% of your portfolio in Bitcoin, which at this point I think I agree. I usually keep between like 25%, 33%, but
mine's about 25% right now, I think.
40 in Bitcoin.
Yeah, it's actually sad. I was looking at my Bitcoin total. I'm not going to go into the specifics. I'm not going to give away how much I would have, but let's just say I should have just held Bitcoin. Because I looked at the past few months and I just see like my Bitcoin dominance is just going down, 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 down. And I'm like, Jesus. Like, I don't actually get mad when I lose dollar amounts. I get pissed when I lose Bitcoin amounts. I don't know why.
Yeah, I know, I agree with you.
If Bitcoin goes down, like if Bitcoin goes down and all the dollars go down, it's like fine. But if my Bitcoin value goes down, then I'm pissed because I'm like, well, then what the hell was I trading all these alts for? I should have just held my Bitcoin.
Yep.
Yeah. I lost half of Bitcoin in 11 minutes when Bitcoin Cash hit Coinbase.
Oh. That sucks.
Yeah, dude. I didn't know what I was doing, so I was like, that's the last time I ever traded.
Yeah, no, I did the same thing. I mean, I was stuck in the flash crash that happened on GDAX that was related to ETH when I was trading back in the day and I had a margin position open. And once I, almost lost all of my ETH, I got it back because they started a lawsuit and, Coinbase reimbursed everybody. But in theory, I would have lost like Ethereum that I had started buying at $17. So that was my wake-up call. Yeah, I bought my first purchase of ETH. It was $17.
Jeez.
So that's partially the reason why I love ETH too. Like everybody's got like that one coin that like I love Cardano as a new investment, but my original like OG, what really got me into crypto was Ethereum. So
Cardano's would be the one for me because I got in Ethereum late.
Most people did. I mean. Quite honestly, it went from 17 and then it jumped quick. It was like 17, and then the next day I looked, it was like 150, and then it was like 250, and then we went that like bull run to 500, and it was just insane. So that's kind of.
I think people get really emotional when it comes to their first coin that like mooned. Like everybody remembers their first coin that they like bought, and then they checked the next day, and they were like, "Holy crap, I'm rich!" Right? And I mean, for me, it was Neo. Because that was, everybody on my channel knows, I bought at Ant Shares, and I still do love Neo, but it's just like the thing is like the only thing I hear from everybody is Icon is dead, Neo is dead, Elastos is dead, Cardano is dead. Like it's like, guys, it's not dead because the price went down. Bitcoin is dead, right? Yeah. It's not dead. It's not like it's not like everybody at Cardano just like took a look at like CoinMarketCap and were like, well, guys, we're down. That's it.
Yeah, we're not doing it anymore.
We're going home. Yeah, that's it. We're going home.
Go to BitcoinObituaries.com.
How many times is it? It died 323 times the last time I checked. What's it up to today? Like 340?
Probably.
Yeah, so it just keeps dying. The CryptoZombie, that's where your name came from, huh?
What?
The many Bitcoin deaths?
Yeah, that's it. Zombie, right? Because the Bitcoin just keeps dying.
What I noticed as far as undervalued coins is something that I might be picking up. Not financial advice, personal opinion. Is probably more VeChain. Did anybody capitalize on the Binance VeChain Thor airdrop? Because I did.
No, what? They're giving stuff?
VeChain, when they swapped to their mainnet and Binance was doing their VeChain to their VET tokens on Binance, if you kept your VeChain on there after the original mainnet token swap, they airdropped you the VeChain Thor, which is like Neo's gas, basically. And so I got a bunch of that because I kept all of it on Binance, and then I just moved everything to the VeChain Thor mobile wallet, and now every day I go in and I see VeChain Thor staking and just like my numbers going up. So if anybody has VeChain, I would strongly suggest putting it on the VeChain wallet, the mobile wallet, backing it up and being smart about it because you'll get dividends. So
I moved to Exodus.
Yeah, get it off Exodus. I don't think you're going to be getting any VeChain Thor staking either.
See, I didn't actually own any VeChain leading up to that, and it's not because I don't like VeChain. I actually really like VeChain. There's a lot of projects I really, really like. I just never got invested in. And the thing with VeChain is I noticed with a lot of these like airdrop type things or stuff, it's usually the buy the rumor, sell the news thing. So I find that sometimes people capitalize on everybody rushing in to buy it, and then right before the airdrop, they'll just sell. And I just am not in the mood to lose any more money. So I was just like, you know what? I don't own any VeChain. I'll just sit this one out, let everyone else that's been a hardcore supporter, you guys deserve the airdrop, and I'll just sit this one out. So
yeah,
but
I
do
buy
report,
any for the airdrop. I just conveniently bought some about 3 weeks ago and found out about the airdrop and was like, wow, perfect timing.
Yo, did anybody go into their Binance within this past month and randomly have BNB token, like a small percentage that just showed up out of nowhere? Because I went in there randomly. It was like 2 weeks ago, and all of a sudden I had it was like 9 BNB randomly, which isn't a lot, but I was like, where the hell? Like, there was no explanation. There was no, it didn't.
You don't have anybody that signed up underneath you? Have you looked at your referrals? Because that's the only thing I can think of.
I don't think I have a lot of referrals. I mean, I put my links on every video, but I don't think I have a lot of people that sign up.
Because that's the only thing. Because I'll log in and I'll be like, why do I have 3 ADA? I'm like, what is this lingering amount of ADA in my wallet? And then I see it's because I've had like 4 people sign up underneath me under Binance. So I mean, I make like, over the course of 6 months, I probably make like $4. But it is interesting to see
actually,
when you go on.
I actually have a confession to make. I never told everybody this, but what I actually do is I don't really make a lot of money on my referral links. So what I actually do is I let it accumulate, and whatever I make, I actually use those for my giveaways.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I never really admitted that, but yeah, so pretty much
it's just resourceful. There's nothing wrong with that.
Thank you to everybody that supports me. So anybody that actually uses my affiliate links, that money goes back to you guys. So I don't take any of the money. So
that's actually smart.
Yeah, I mean, and you can do giveaways. So it's like a way of saying thank you for being part of the community, and it really doesn't cost me anything. So it's a circle of life, man.
It's a circle of crypto, man.
Circle of crypto.
Oh, COC.
Somebody said it could have been trading fees refunded from the early July hack.
Oh,
wow. That's insightful.
Maybe
that could be it too, as well.
Who knows?
Oh, I got. So there's an article that came out and it says that conservatives like Bitcoin and liberals like Ethereum. How do you guys feel about that?
Seriously?
Anarchists like Monero.
Well, I mean, the third one, probably. That makes sense. But I don't really see. I was actually on the phone with somebody earlier, and I was having this conversation, and they asked me why I liked crypto, and I said that I felt like crypto often kind of, although you can get kind of tribalist within the cryptocurrency itself, when you get involved in crypto, it like transcends. If you're a liberal, if you're a conservative, if you're a Republican, Democrat, whatever, like it doesn't seem like that's ever kind of a discussion that's brought up. I mean, if you like ETH and you're Bitcoin maximalist, there's going to be problems, but like in real life, there's not problems. There's just like internet problems. So I'm surprised to hear that people made that association. How did they gauge that?
I don't know. They just said like conservatives prefer Bitcoin, and
I mean, conservatives are, they want to be smart and safe, and Bitcoin out of all those things is the sure bet, is the safest, most reliable. So I guess that would make sense. And Ethereum is definitely just like a lottery ticket.
Yeah. So I'm for ETH, and my dad likes Bitcoin. So there's the use case right there.
Could just be the millennials and the baby boomers.
Ooh, it could be.
I like Ethereum because it functions as a better, a faster currency than Bitcoin, and it also can be used as fundraising. But here's the thing. I think that if people say, well, what if Ethereum gets taken down? Like, what if, a better project takes its place? I actually still think that Ethereum, regardless of what it aims to be, I still think it's going to have its place as far as the recent standards that have come out lately. Like, I've been talking about it a lot on my channel, like ERC 721s, ERC 1155s. So I do think that will be a thing because we are very digital now. We're very digital people. There are physical things, but not as many people are going out and buying physical trading cards. You know what I'm saying? They're not really doing that. So what I think is these good things about these ERC 721s is that you actually have like a CryptoKitties, you have tradables, and you have, things that are specific to you. So one cool thing that I do like about Ethereum that I could see it being around for a while is, say I have ownership to something, like say I bought something at an auction and it's a really expensive piece of artwork or something like that. I could be the owner, of the ERC 721, and that could be the certificate that proves my personal ownership. And then when I transfer that ownership to you, or even if it's a virtual thing, I could send that to you specifically. So I think that that's a good use case, and I think that
I do too.
That alone will keep Ethereum in the game for a long time to come. But as far as smart contract platforms, there is a lot of competition.
Yeah.
So
you don't say. No, I agree with you. Tokenizing real world assets for sale or for investment or for collector's items. I mean, that's awesome. That's a great way to utilize Ethereum's platform. But I know scaling and all that jazz. I'm interested. Like, I feel like we've been waiting for like sharding and Casper for like an eternity.
Yeah.
Like, where is this?
well, I was speaking to Mo from Seller Network, and I don't know if you guys know they're doing a second layer scaling solution as well. And he was pretty much saying to me, like, it's going to be damn near impossible to scale any blockchain on chain to meet the needs of the real world retail users. You're looking at something, I don't know off the top of my head, but Visa does like 45,000 or something per second.
Around there.
That is just not going to happen on chain for a long, long time. And that's why you're seeing a lot of these guys move to other things. Like, you're seeing a lot of DAG protocol, a lot of DAGs come out. Hashgraph too, even. They're like...
Yeah, Hashgraph I really meant to... it's on my list. I have a Trello that I keep track of all the things that I want to talk about and like break it down. And Hashgraph has been on my list of things to cover for like ages. Because I really want to fully grasp the difference between that and DAG tech. I know that one is currently like open source technology and one is currently sort of private. Like, I know Hashgraph is not publicly releasing their technology yet. So that's the only major difference I know.
Yeah. Well, Hashgraph, yeah, I mean, they're kind of pulling a little bit of the EOS thing where they're keeping the code kind of secret, you know what I mean, while they're developing. And I mean, listen, in one hand, I get why people hate it. I'm not sticking up for Hashgraph. I obviously don't own any. There's like literally no way I could even get into the ICO if I wanted to. But in a sense, if you are developing something that you personally believe is like super, super, super revolutionary, like, I understand why you don't want people just like copying the code right now while you're in the process of developing it. But that's just business, they're just being a business.
Substratum did the same thing. Substratum kept most of their stuff private. Their GitHub, everything was private up until like a week before I covered them. And I waited because I knew that they were going to release everything. But yeah, I mean, in this space, it makes sense because if it's proprietary information and you want to keep it valuable and you want to get it out before anybody else, it makes sense. But unfortunately, crypto has that movement of being open source, being public, being free, and kind of being like for the masses. So when people don't make it open source, I think it kind of has a tendency to rub the community the wrong way, even though it shouldn't, because everybody's entitled to starting their own business in their own way, I suppose. But
But look at the projects in crypto right now, right? Decentralize this, decentralize that. But who's doing the best right now, right? Binance, centralized. Coinbase, centralized. So like, you have to be realistic. Like, we have to. I know Binance is working towards decentralization, but you're not going to go from centralized to decentralized overnight. And I think it's ambitious, but it's not realistic.
Yeah.
So
statistically, next year, if it keeps growing like the way it is, there's going to be 60,000 coins and there's going to be 14,000 exchanges. How do you guys feel about that?
Well, if there's 14,000 exchanges, you can wave bye-bye to liquidity.
Yeah.
And you're most certainly going to need these things like 0x and Loop Ring, because there's going to be no way to tie in all the orders.
Blocknet and all that stuff.
Blocknet, yeah. I don't know why I always forget Blocknet.
Blocknet's like the only one I remember. I always forget Loop Ring.
And but I feel like Blocknet is like doing the most. Like, I just reported. Did you see Syscoin? They used the X router to do a transaction.
Really?
Yeah, successfully. So that's freaking crazy. I mean, that's real tech. That's actually the tech that matters. But
they use the router to do transactions.
Well, yeah, without having to download the entire blockchain, which is crazy because, I mean, think about Bitcoin, right? Think about how long that blockchain is. I mean, I made the reference. People on my channel know how long it took them just to download the freaking A-Chain wallet. That took them like 3 days, right?
With Monero is terrible.
Yeah, I've never bought Monero. I've never bought a privacy coin my whole life. Never bought any.
I was pretty heavily into privacy coins in the beginning. A lot of Pivox, a lot of Monero, and then I just kind of moved out. Well, my favorite privacy project now is probably Zencash, but I've gone on a tangent about this before. It's because it's doing currency, but also platforms and also publishing and also other things that will be anonymous. It's not just a currency. But I mean, Monero, I feel like it's one of those projects that's never going to go anywhere, but I also don't know realistically how people are really going to use it. It took me like 4 days to download the wallet.
No, what?
Well, Zencash, now that you brought that up, they're doing like a little, they're not doing like a rebranding, they're doing like a re-something, right?
Refresh or something, like Cardano.
Yeah, refreshing the brand, that's it. They're like
Rebranding.
Rebranding, but keeping the name, I
Yeah.
guess. Yeah.
Nice. So one thing in Singapore that I noticed is like you can pay with your face now.
Oh, shoot.
You can
It's
pay with your face?
Yeah, dude, it's like I took a picture of it. There's like this machine. It's called Face Pay. Like all the McDonald's you can order online, like on the side, and then you just pay there.
That's
And
crazy.
then you just like put your face up to it, and then you can pay with it. Like, yo, like
You know who
It's
was
like unlocking your iPhone.
Yeah, I was
exactly.
talking to Cortex. Cortex, they do AI, and Zichi Chen. He was telling me about the whole face pay and stuff. But he said that it requires a lot of processing. So like he was saying, like even on phones, for example, like for like if you're doing like face to unlock a phone, they have to actually put a completely separate chip just for that. Like in other words, it takes so much processing power to like do facial recognition that it has to come with its own specific chip. So I guess that's why they're so expensive.
Oh, brand expansion. That's what it's called.
Brand
My
expansion.
Crypto Basic podcast friends are in the chat, and they just recently talked to Rob on their podcast. P.S. This is a totally nonchalant plug. If anybody listens to podcasts and anybody wants good content that's reliable and unbiased and they're consistent, go listen to the Crypto Basic podcast. They're awesome. But they just interviewed Rob from Zencash, and he was talking about the brand, whatever I just said.
That's
brand
awesome.
expansion.
Yeah, I had him on the channel the other day, talking about it as well, and yeah, those guys are really good with their. They're really easy to reach for like
Oh, yeah.
speaking with. Like I have to say, out of most of the some companies, like they won't even like talk to you, and it's like I just want to ask you a question, But like you reach out to Zencash, and they're like, yeah, sure, when tomorrow I'll hop on the show right away. I'm like, you guys rock. Like they're always down, they're always there, and
Yep.
I think you got to answer the community, man. You got to be transparent and vocal because
Yeah, you can't hide from the community. Dao Hong Fei is like that too. I went to some of the meetups. Remember, he's just chills outside and just meets everybody.
yeah, that was really cool. I actually got to hang out with him like at an after party, which is crazy. The guy's like my idol, and like I'm just sitting there like having a beer with him. It's like, what up, Da? Like this is awesome.
This is his birthday too, right? Was it that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was his birthday. You were there? Were you there? For that, or?
That's where I met you, fool. I met you at the Ontology mainnet launch.
Ooh.
Oh, that's right. We did meet there. Damn, freaking God, crypto moves so fast.
Yeah, dude, it feels like forever since then. But
Yeah, definitely. So, yeah, anyway, guys, I'm actually going to go. I got to take off. If you guys don't mind, you're more than welcome to keep the stream running. I just got to take off. I got some stuff to do. I have to actually, we're working on oh, for everyone watching, guys, the token tank is done. We recorded it with June Lee, if you didn't catch it. Captain Crypto was on. We had Crypto Lark, and we also had Chico Crypto on as well. So we're looking to drop that Monday night. So anybody that wants to see that with Ontology, we took all of the community questions, and we, especially Nathan, man, you freaking hammered in the big questions.
always make me ask the hard questions, but I do it because I have to. Because like my
dude, he's always asking the tough questions. I'm not gonna give it away. You guys can watch the show yourself. But man, I thought June Lee was gonna just start sweating bullets some of those questions you asked him. But that's what you gotta do.
Like
No, that's the point of it.
Yeah, like for the anchor one, Zombie just went in. He's like, "All right, all bets off the table. This is what we're gonna talk about. We're gonna talk about this right now. This is a problem." And
I
was like,
actually
"I'll come in next," and then Blockchain Brad was coming in.
I actually felt kind of bad. I thought maybe that was like I kind of came a little too attack dog in the beginning. I was a little too aggressive, but I was really concerned about that because I looked at Anchor as kind of being like the high performance blockchain of cloud computing. They're utilizing the trusted hardware. So I had done research on the Intel SGXs, and there were people that were worried that there were some security vulnerabilities. And these are like credible sources, like people that work in the industry. So, but the story did come out several months ago, so it was an older article. But I just wanted to be sure because that's the last thing you want is everybody's running Anchor on these, Intel SGXs, and all of a sudden, like, can you imagine, like, if it got hacked or there was an issue or something went wrong? I mean,
you knew about it, but you didn't say anything, that's even worse than
Yeah,
not.
I'd feel like a total dick
Yeah.
if I didn't bring that up. Like, how could I, you know, like I had to ask. So maybe I came across a little aggressive, but I thought it was the right
It helped all of us. It's just like, I was just like, all right, let's go. So why did you get hacked? Why did the link get hacked? You know?
Yeah. Well,
you know, it helped. Like, just to have somebody just like jump in like that. We should start off like that.
definitely, man. Thanks. I appreciate it, man, because I was a little worried myself. But so,
nah, dude, it just enabled us to go in. Yeah.
Thanks for the live stream, guys. I love you, everyone. You're all awesome, okay?
You're all great,
So,
guys.
I hope everybody has a really great night. Enjoy your weekend. And I'm actually happy that I can finally live stream again and my computer's not messed up anymore. So
Yeah, me
that
too.
really sucked. For like 2 weeks, I couldn't live stream. So happy to be back, guys.
All right, guys. We'll see you all soon, I guess.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So I'll talk to you later.
Toodles.
Take care.